Okay, it's killing the game, mate. It's not the same game it used to be. You know, we all sat on our couches last night, watched TV, and I guarantee you, if Jared Gillett was the VAR last night, would have got a different outcome. So you just don't know what you're going to get, and you're standing around for 12 minutes. Just it's killing the game, but no one cares about that. I think everyone loves the drama, the controversy. I'm sure there'll be 24-hour sort of discussion around it. I think that's what everyone wants. They're not interested in really that it's just killing the spectacle of the game. You know, if the referee saw that and then he needs to see that for 6 minutes, tell me what's clear and obvious about it, mate. Just a clear explanation. What's clear and obvious about it? Last night we all sat on our couches and saw one replay and gone, oh my God. Tonight we sat there and we waited for 6 minutes for something that apparently the VAR official Jared Gillett thought was clear and obvious. It's crazy, mate. It's madness, but we accept it. And when you accept something, I guess you have to take the fallout from it.
I have to talk about facts because I think it's important. I don't want to play mind games too early. I think that they want to start. So I was taking some facts. Mr. Ferguson, and it's a fact, he was charged for the FA with improper conduct. He was very clear the other day, and it's a fact. I am not playing mind games. I am talking about facts. I am talking about facts. I am not talking about my impression, things that everybody can see every single week.
What was the result? 3-0. 3-0. Do you know what this means? 3-0. But also mean 3 premierships, and I won more premierships alone than the other 19 managers together. 3 for me and 2 for them. Respect, man, respect.
I guess part of your issue then, or a big part of your issue is the delay, but do you think that decision's wrong?
Look, Pat, you can try and force me into a corner.
I'm not trying to force you into anything.
You are. Did you think last night was a red card? Was it clear and obvious? Yes. Okay. How many minutes did it take this referee to figure out whether it's clear and obvious? In your just basic knowledge of human, vocabulary, clear and obvious, what does that suggest to you? That on the first replay, is that clear and obvious? If you have to watch something quite a few times, is that clear and obvious?
No, it's maybe not clear and obvious. I do think it's a foul, if I'm honest.
Okay, all right. Well, there you go. So there you go. So the referee didn't see it. He then needs to see it for 6 minutes, but you get the right outcome, so you're happy, and that's why the game's going the way it is. And I guess people like you will continue to be happy sitting on your couches waiting for 6 minutes for clear and obvious stuff. That's fine. I don't agree with it, but that's fine.
Fine.
Roll on VAR. We know whether I'll be too old to see VAR, but that's why you need VAR, because then if you can't see offside from across with a flag it's not even close. And it's almost like not who you play, it's who you get to referee and who's going to have a flag in their hand. Nowadays, it's just as important.
I'm really surprised at how, what's the word I'm looking for, how people in this country are so easily letting the game change so much so quickly. It's changed more since VAR has come in, and I've been involved, I think, in the last 50 years. We never used to debate offsides, we never used to debate handballs, we never used to debate holding in the box, we never used to debate so many things. I just thought people would be a little bit more protective about the sanctity of the game. Why isn't anyone speaking up about it? Especially in this country who, for all intents and purposes, you guys think you're the custodians of the game. You've got a song that says it's coming home, this is your game, and yet it takes an Aussie from the other side of the world to be the one that's most conservative about changes.
Where next for Coventry City? How can you get out of it?
Tottenham on Saturday. That's next. That's next.
But you have to show, surely, don't you, a little bit more than there was evident tonight?
You may say that. We don't think so, Richard. I'm sorry. You can sit there and look and play with all your silly machines as much as you like. I'm manager of a football team. I'm an experienced manager. Yeah, if the boys haven't done enough, I'll whip them. I ain't whipping them for that tonight. Who won the Man of the Match award?
Dave Besant won the Man of the Match
sorry,
award.
so he must have played not bad then. Thank you very much, lads. See you later.
OK, Ron. Well, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
I prefer not to comment because I don't want to bring the game into disrepute. I don't want to be accused. I prefer to do what we have to do in football. In football, we have just to let it go and not to comment, because if you comment, you are in trouble, and I don't want to be. If I speak, I am in big trouble.
It's embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is, a disgrace.
Will you be taking this up with PGMOL?
Yeah, we've been taking it for many months. There's so much at stake. We put so many hours. I'm here to represent the football club and to get my team to compete at the highest level. The margins are so small. It's a disgrace. It's embarrassing. That's how I feel. And that's how everybody feels in that room. You cannot imagine the amount of messages that we got to say this cannot continue. It's embarrassing. I'm sorry. Embarrassing.
I think your question is absolutely unbelievable. The fact that you do not understand where I'm coming from. If you don't know the answer to that question, then I think you are an ostrich. Well, your head must be in the sand. Are you flexible enough to get your head in the sand? My suspicion would be no. I can, you can't. You've been here often enough. For you to ask that question, I think you're either being very, very silly or you're being absolutely stupid. I'll smile at you because I can afford to smile at you. Now, do you want to ask a different question or do you want to ask it differently? Or are you not capable?
I just don't know what you...
You don't know what,
I don't know how you've taken that question there because...
Well, you must be very stupid. I'm sorry.
Like my friend is saying, the fans are saying that. Now, the fans are shouting every week, Louis van Gaal's army! Louis van Gaal's army! So also the fans are very satisfied with Louis van Gaal. And my players are also satisfied with me.
I've got big problems with the people who are running football. And I'm not a big enough person for them to even bother listening to me. But I know the reasons I think the game's in trouble, and you cannot have a Bosman Rule in that they've got in a moment. That is the be-all, the end, the start of it and the end of it all. Because for me, Man United have helped Wayne Rooney's career. They bought him for 30-odd million, and he's going to be allowed to walk out of there if he stays and sees his contract out for nothing. And that's the game's fault. That's the people at the very top of the game's fault, because our rules were brilliant. If he was offered the same amount of money again, they could hold his registration and someone would have to pay the fair amount of money for him. If my car went over a certain age and I bought it off a garage, I wouldn't expect that garage to be able to come and take it back off on my drive for nothing.
Arsene has also said that comments coming from managers saying that they are not in the title race come out of a fear of failure. Do you have a fear of failure?
You know, he is a specialist in failure. I'm not. So if supposedly he is right and I am afraid of fail, it's because I don't fail many times. The reality is that he's a specialist because 8 years without a piece of silverware, that's failure.
The game is wrong. The people in charge of the game are wrong. And I'm not calling them names, I'm just telling them they're wrong. They are so wrong, this is frightening. If Alex Ferguson is being bullied by a player and his agent, or whatever how you want to call it, how wrong is the game? Yeah, and when are you going to listen to the people who are involved in the game?
A lot of things have been said over the last few days, some of it almost slanderous, and we've never commented. We've just got on working, trying to pass the ball like we do in training. I think you've got to send Alex Ferguson a tape of this game, haven't you? Isn't that what he asked for? And we're playing Notts Forest on Thursday, and he objected to that. Now, that was fixed up 4 months ago. We were supposed to play Notts Forest. I mean, that sort of stuff, we're bigger than that.
But that's part and parcel of the psychological battle, Kevin, isn't it?
No, that's when you do that with footballers, like he said about Leeds, and when you do things like that about a man like Stuart Pearce, I've kept really quiet, but I'll tell you something. He went down in my estimation when he said that. We have not resorted to that, but I'll tell you, you can tell him now, if you're watching it, we're still fighting for this title, and he's got to go to Middlesbrough and get something. And I'll tell you, honestly, I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
They don't play, they don't want to play under pressure. They don't want to play under stress. Yeah, it's easy in this way. And Tottenham story is this. 20 years that there is the owner and never won something. But why? Only for the fault is only for the club or for every manager that stay here? And I have seen the manager that Tottenham had.
The last 48 hours has revealed to me the foundations are fairly fragile, mate, so that's what I feel. I just think that's, like I said, the last 40 hours has revealed a fair bit to me, and that's all right. That just means I've got to go back to the drawing board with something. Outside, inside, everywhere. It's been an interesting exercise. It's just my observations, mate. I'm not going to tell you because it's for me. I'm the one that's got to do it. So, you know, you can make your own fairly accurate assessment of what's happened. And I understand I probably misread the situation as to what I think is important in your endeavour to become a winning team, but that's okay. That's why I'm here.
I'm really upset. And everybody has to take the responsibility, not only the club, not only the manager, the staff. The player has to be involved in this situation. Because it's time to change the situation if Tottenham wants to change. If they want to continue in this way, they can change manager, a lot of manager, but the situation cannot change, believe me. Thank you very much.